What is up, heroes? It's Midnight Zero, and welcome back to Let's Play 999 Blind. In the last episode, we made our way to the library and explored the top half, and now we explore the bottom half, which is, well, we'll see if it has anywhere near as many books as the previous area did. What's going on down here? So, Dadkind, and Owen, and Sheldrake, and Liebernitz? Maybe? I don't know. Dadkind or Dadkind? What the heck is this? Wasn't that a German mathematician? Maybe it's a compilation of his work. I mean, that's probably the most interesting books in the building for me. Owen, huh? Owen isn't enough to go on. Perhaps it's about the English Revolutionary? I'm not familiar. Liebernitz. This book is in German. It looks like it's the complete works of something. Never heard of it. Well, if Snake doesn't know what it is, I don't think we'll ever know. It's a fair point. Sheldrake. Sheldrake. Isn't Sheldrake... I don't recognize. But... regardless, there are 7 volumes of the 2 on the left and 8 volumes of the 2 on the right that may or may not be important, but the Pythagorean Theorem. This is a famous one. Yes, it is. Sounds like there are a number of math books in this section. Oof. Looks like we started with the right section. Algebraic number theory. Math, huh? There's another one like that over here. You mean something like primary number theory or analytical number theory or geometry? Now, guys, now we are talking. It's taken 43 episodes. We are finally at the best part of the game. Oh my gosh, how did you know? I llove it. Nobody said anything about those. Well, number theory is usually split into 4 chief disciplines. If there's a book... oh. I guess that the other 3 would be there as well. Looks like I was right. Sorry for skipping his initial comments, but that's a weird book, Junpei. Indian mathematics. That's funny. Wait, what's so funny about it? Why is that funny? It says the Riemann hypothesis. It's so funny. Clover's like jumping up and down, all excited about it. Or Riemann hypothesis. Wow, has it really been that long? What is that hypothesize about with a Riemann? Isn't it pretty straightforward? Heavens no, there are many factors. Length, girth, lubrication, or lack of... what? What are you guys talking about with Riemann? The Riemann hypothesis is one of the most important, most relevant aspects of math at the moment. It's an exciting and rapidly growing field. Whoa. There is something going over my head there. Along with the Riemann hypothesis. I can't even believe I said Riemann at first. Wow, I'm disappointed in myself. This one's Goldbach's Conjecture. Conjecture? What's it about? Like magic or psychic stuff or something? Right, I bet it's about jewelry, isn't it? It may have an odd title, but it's actually a very respectable mathematics book. It deals with one of the unsolved problems of additive number theory. Sorry I said anything. Look, let's not get into this right now, okay? Wait, no, Snake! Keep talking, I'm intrigued. This book's called Algebraic Number Theory. What about over here? Anything of interest over here? Aw, man, we don't get to see any more math books, presumably. What's over here? Modern Japanese literature, huh? Okay, can we interact with that book? No. What's this? Origin of Japanese folklore? Looks like there are a bunch of books about Japanese culture here. Mostly ones about folklore, though. Well, folklore can cover a wide range of subjects. History, urban life, religious trends, environmental changes, oral traditions. Folklore can cover all those things, if you know where to look. This looks pretty deep, I agree. Agriculture and historical organizations in folklore, okay. Hey, there's another one of those picture books here. Something about these things feels kind of nice, you know? Brings back good memories. I guess even people like Seven were kids once. Oh, you little brat. Hey guys, cool it. Alright, I think I'm gonna take this picture book with me. What's it called? Tales of Old Japan? Let's search it. It's got a magic wand on it. Okay. So, what's inside? Well, aren't you gonna open it? Pretty sure it's just gonna have pages inside. Smarto. Whoa! So, looks like there's an S, an E, a 5, and an I. That's not quite as, easily discernible what the intent is here. Compared to the other books we've opened, that is. Alright. I think that covers this area. Let's see what we've got here. So many books here. I wonder what this one's... Whoa, what's this? Warm... Oh. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Hey, what's the deal with this sappy stuff? Guys, I have no idea what's going on here. Huh? What was that about? There are a bunch of books on folklore and myth here. So, warm... Was it that they grabbed for the same book? I feel like that's what happened. Maybe? Ship. Okay. What do we have in here? This bookshelf has sort of a glass inlay. It's pretty big, but there's only 6 books on it. That seems kind of weird. Hey, it looks like there's something on the bottom. I can't really see it, though. The glass is all foggy. Let's see, do we have something we can use to deal with that? No, it doesn't look like it. Awesome, there's a lock on the glass door. Yep, won't budge. I wonder what we're going to need to do to get that. There are books here in all sorts of languages, but there's something suspicious about the shelf on the left. In brackets. That'll be important. This iron plate is bolted down. I don't think it's a door. I think it's just a wall. Okay, what do we have here in the middle? Probably need 3 bulbs, this would mean. It's a small enclosure with 9 sides. A nonagon. There are 3 of these things that look kind of like music stands. Okay, how about we try putting these picture books on the stands? Then the shadows are gonna work together. That's pretty cool. Then, this is a little weird. It is indeed, but do we have enough bulbs? There are 3 lights in this thing. They aren't very bright, though. Hey, didn't we find some kind of really powerful light bulb earlier? Why don't you put it into one of those lights? Yeah. Well, it'll get a lot brighter, but if there are 3 lights, that means 3 light bulbs. There won't be much point unless we can replace all 3 bulbs. We need 3 light bulbs, huh? Looks like it. We can barely see some of the letters now, but interesting. It'll be interesting to see how they all come together. All right, we'll head over this way. Is there any... Are there any other bulbs we can get? Not to my knowledge. Well, I'm sure there are. None that I am immediately aware of. Oh, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number lock here. I have a strange feeling these books are in a very particular order. Let's see here. If we were to try 632415. Let's give it a go. 632415. In the middle of the glass door is a cylinder lock. You know, the kind of lock where you rotate the numbers around until you've got the right ones to open it. What the heck is this? It's like they just gave us the answer. Guess I might as well give it a shot. I don't remember already. It was like 632415, I think. I mean, I gotta click this over and over. So 632415, I think. I think this was it. Hey! You did it, Junpei! Clover jumping up and down again with all of her excitement. Yay! I don't know why, but I don't really feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever. At least the lock's open now. Let's see if we can get it open, alright? And with that, we have our final bulb. 3 out of 3. All 6 books seem to be pointing at the cylinder number lock. That's not what I would have thought of, but just their presence was enough. Okay, I put the pop-up books on the top of the stands, and there are 3 lights in here. I'm gonna change these bulbs. Now they should reveal the secret message. Sheldrake 5. Ah, that's pretty neat. Awesome, it worked. Way to go, Junpei. Good job, buddy. There's something projecting on the bottom. These letters, they seem familiar. I wonder, Sheldrake 5, where did I hear that before? It says Sheldrake on the spine of this book. It's got the volume number written on the lower part of the spine. Can I not grab specifically 5? I have to click on it to have the characters read. Ah, I see. Sheldrake 5.
そういや、この部屋のどっかに全集があったな。 そいつが書いた本の。
I think I saw the rest of this collection somewhere.
確かその辺にあったはず。
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here. Let's go take a
私
look.
も行く。
Okay.
シールドレイクか。
Sheldrake. Although the Japanese made it sound like Shieldrake.
知ってるのかい？シールドレイクのこと。
Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean?
ヤシロから聞いたよ。
Yeah, Lotus told me about him. I don't remember.
イギリス
Ah,
の
this
生化
guy.
学者シールドレイクという人が面白い学説を唱えててね。
There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He had a rather
形
interesting
態形
theory.
成場仮説、あるいは形成的因果作用の仮説とも呼ぶらしい。
Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance. Oh boy.
おお、ヤシロからね。
Really? From Lotus, huh?
あとは、四つ葉からも。
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff. Do I have to... I do. Why does this always happen? Regardless,
四つ葉から？
she did?
ああ。確かこんなことを言ってたな。
Yeah, what was it?
携帯形成場にアクセスする能力は2つの要素によって増強されるの。
The ability to access a morphogenic field is affected by a couple of
一つは
things.
ひらめき、もう一つは危機。
The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
やれやれ。まいった。
Yada yada.
あれだけ口止めしておいたのに。
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone. Just goes to show how much she likes us.
口止めよ
You did?
どうして
Why? Well, Junpei's eyes narrowed.
ああ時間がないから黙ってたんだが、そろそろ聞かせてもらえないか。
Look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay? Yeah, why is everybody keeping Junpei out of the
何
loop?
を？
Tell you what.
とぼけんなよ。
Don't give me
実
that.
験のことに決まってんだろ。
About the experiment. Snake's shoulders slumped, and he shook his head slowly.
は
He'd finally given
あ、わか
up.
ったよ。すべて話そ
Ooh, very well, fine. I'll tell you everything.
う。だが、ここではなんだ。上のフロアに移動しよ
But not here. Let's move to the top floor. Junpei nodded. With that, they climbed the stairs to the top floor. Interesting. What's Snake gonna reveal here? Snake was silent for a moment after they arrived, then finally crossed his arms and
う。
spoke.
まずは、僕がどうして今まで実験のことを黙っていたのか。なぜ四つ葉にも口止めをしたのか。
Yeah, that's
そ
my
れに
first
ついて
question.
話そう。
I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well.
理由は単純なことなんだ。
To be honest, the explanation is quite
ゼ
simple.
ロから誰にも喋るなと命令されてたんだよ。だから黙ってたんだ。
Zero told me not to. I had little choice.
と言っても、
Interesting.
直接会って指示を受けたわけじゃない。
He didn't walk up and tell me, of course.
そのメッセージは1枚のカードに刻まれてたんだ。
He gave me a message
このカード。
engraved on a card. I remember that from the very beginning. Snake reached into his sleeve and pulled out a small, stiff piece of paper. I'm surprised he still has it in those sleeves, despite his clothes being put on someone else.
これは
That's
展示カードじゃないか。
a Braille card.
大階段の前で見せてもらったものと似てるな。
It looks just like the one you showed us earlier.
つまり、カードは2枚あったってことか。
So you had two cards.
このカード1枚だけだよ。
No, only one.
あどういうことだ
Huh? What do you mean?
カードには、ノナリーゲームの詳しいルールが書いてあったんじゃないのか
I thought that card just had some rules from the Nonary game on it. I mean, for all we know, we're at Snake's mercy to interpret the Braille,
あ
so
あ、確かに書いてあったよ。
yes, it did.
あの時読み上げたルールは全て実際に展示カードに記されていたものだ。
And those were the rules I read
だ
you.
が
However,
書かれていたのはそれだけじゃない。
they were not the only thing on the
あえて
card.
読み上げなかった部分が
So there was something I didn't read. What's this? Well,
決して
unread
読むこと
part.
のできなかった記述が他にもあったんだよ。
Well, perhaps I should say there was something I couldn't read.
それは
And that was
9年前のことは誰にも言うな。
tell no one of the events that took place 9 years
家は
ago.
妹の起爆タイマーを作動させる。
Yikes. Tell and I activate your sister's
そん
detonator.
な脅し文句さ。
It's a threat in our lives. Yeah, no kidding. I would stay silent myself.
なるほど。
Oh.
そういうことだったのか。
Well, Snake nodded.
四つ葉にはゼロからのメッセージはなかったのか。
Well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero
あ
too?
あなかったらしい。
I don't believe she
だけ
did.
ど僕の口だけを封じておいて四つ葉の方は完全にフリーっていうのはおかしいだろ。
But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers? Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking. I think it has to play into the trap that Zero set for Ace that we know about, right?
そうだな。
Yeah.
だから念のため四つ葉にも誰にも喋るなと言っておいたんだ。
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone.
けど君には話してしまったみたいだね。参ったよ。
Still, apparently she told you. That girl. We're just so special to Clover.
別に参ることはないだろう。
What's wrong with her telling me?
俺がこうして確信に近づけてるのは四つ葉が話してくれたおかげなわけだし。
I figured some stuff out with the things she told me.
それに起爆タイマーうんぬんってのもただのハったりだったみたいだしな。
I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff.
下のフロアで四つ葉ピンピンしてるぜ。
She's prancing around downstairs, happy as a clam now that you're back. Snake glanced down at Clover and Seven, examining one of the bookshelves.
そりゃそうだよ。安全だと分かったからこそ。
That's very true. I've decided I can trust
こ
you.
うして君に真実を伝える気になったんじゃないか。
I've decided to tell you the truth. Ooh, the
ゼロの
truth.
正体はサンタである可能性が高い。そ
The
の
chance that
サンタ
Santa
は
Zero is very
おそ
high.
らく僕らを監視できる状態にはないだろう。
I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment.
Yeah.
It's reasonable.
仮に監視できていたとしても彼は僕らを殺したりはしないはずだ。
And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. But also, unfortunately, I have to go pick up my brother for the moment, so be back in just a minute. Fear not, for I have returned. And we are here to hear, wow, why Snake has not told us the truth thus far, and everything up until this point. Why?
さっき四つ葉から教えてもらったんだよ。クローバーのリーフワードの件も。
Clover told me about the four-leaf clover, about the
それを
words.
聞いて確信したんだ。彼はあの時の仲間に違いないとね。
If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of
そ
it.
の彼が僕らを殺すなんてことは考えられないんだ。
He wouldn't kill us. Interesting, some sort of bond amongst you guys?
どんな事情があったとしても。
No matter what the situation was. Interesting. I'm surprised that Snake didn't realize or recognize his voice earlier, but Snake paused and cocked his head as though he was listening to something very far away. His face looked dark, as though something was weighing on him.
なあ、ニルス。
Hey, Snake, give him a minute, Junpei. Clearly something tough is about to come up. Junpei wasn't quite sure what to say. Snake turned and looked at him.
ああ、分かってるよ。実験のことが知りたいんだろ。
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
そうだ。
Yeah.
君はどこまで知ってるんだい？
How much do you know?
俺が四つ葉から聞いたのは、
Clover told me about. Thank goodness for this time lapse. I see.
携帯形成場仮説とそれを応用した9年前の実験。それがこの船とネバダの実験場で行われたこと。
The morphogenetic field in the experiments 9 years prior. How the experiment had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada.
そして失ってしまった僕らの仲間。
And the girl that died during the
四つ葉の
experiment.
やつはそこまで君に話したんだね。
She told you all that, did she? Snake looked down. His face was tight. Obviously, some rough memories probably coming back. A slight tremor shook his body, and he tried to hide it. He was putting on a good front, but even Junpei could tell that he was holding back something deep and powerful. He made as if to brush something from his face and looked up at Junpei.
とにかく君がどこまで知ってるのかは分かったよ。
At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to
誰
determine.
が、なぜ、何のために、どのようにして実験を行ったのか。
is who did this and why, right?
そうだな。
Yes.
聞かせてもらえるか。
Can you tell me what happened? Yes. Snake nodded
実
slowly.
験を企てたのはクレイドル製薬という製薬会社の連中だ。
The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle
首謀
Pharmaceuticals.
者は4名。
There were 4 of them running the show.
本郷源太郎、
Hongo Gentaro,
虹崎渚、
Nijisaki Nagisa,
久保田照明、
Kubota Teruaki,
武蔵堂景親。
Musashido Kagechika. Whoa!
本郷はクレイドル製薬の CEO。
Oh my goodness! Can we talk about how villainous but also kind of like cool and almost stoic, minus the guy in the far right, these individuals look? Also, it's so easy to tell which one was Ace, right? Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. This is Ace.
その右腕となって働いていた参謀閣の男が虹崎。
Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share of the planning.
久保田は研究開発部部長。
Kubota led the company's research and development division. You know, Kubota looks very similar to the ninth man, who had the number 6.
武蔵堂はクレイドル製薬の大株主だ。
Musashido was their majority stockholder. He looks like the stereotypical, really wealthy, cares about money, you know, luxurious character. It was these 4 people who planned the initial
簡単に
experiment.
言うと、立案したのが本郷、実際に動いたのが虹崎。
Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all
技
together.
術面で協力したのが久保田で、資金を提供したのが武蔵堂という構図になる。
What's interesting is Snake knows all of this about the initial development of the experiment. You would think that after getting through the experiment, the people who designed it would shut up completely, especially if there were any, negative consequences as a result. So I'm surprised to find out that Snake and potentially the other people learned of this. And why do I think this is relevant is because other people that also found this out could specifically target the people that were most involved. So you see here, that Hongo designed it and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota developed the technology required and Musashido provided the cash. So maybe that's why specifically, Hongo and I think it was Kubota that were actually, thrown in this second game. And who knows, maybe somehow the others are involved. I can see Musashido kind of looking like the captain from the captain's quarter. And for all we know, Nijisaki could be Guy X, right?
本郷、虹崎、久保田、武
So
蔵
it's
堂か。
Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, and Musashido. Junpei couldn't shake the sense that he had heard those 4 names somewhere
も
before.
ちろん、この4人だけで全てが行われたわけじゃない。
Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this
実
scale.
験を行うにあたって、極秘の研究チームが組織された。
To that end, they organized a top secret team to assist them with their research.
集められたメンバーの数は十数名。
All in all, they gathered 10 people or
彼ら
so.
の協力を得て、計画は実行されることになった。
Those 10 completed their team and they were able to begin the project.
その計画の名は、ノナリープロジェクト。
They named it the Nonary Project.
実験の目的は、人間を自在に操る能力について研究することにあった。
The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through
そ
sheer
のため
will.
に利用されたのが、携帯形成場仮説だ。
The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field. So rather than simply have the morphogenetic field be a means of connecting to knowledge bases per se, in a sort of unquantifiable way, they argued not only for the existence of such a field, but also wanted to experiment to see if such a connection could be used in a more unilateral way in order to control one end of, the connection. Interesting.
グリセリンがある日を境に突然結晶化するようになったのはなぜか。
Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to
EDT の
crystallize?
結晶構造がある日を境に突然変化してしまったのはなぜか。
Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden
ラット
change?
に問題を解かせる実験で世代を経るごとに正解率が上昇していったのはなぜか。
Why did the rats improve their puzzle solving skills with each
人間
generation?
で行われた実験でも同じ。
Experiments with humans produce the same
ある
results.
問題について答えを知っている人間が多ければ多いほど それを知らないはずの人たちの正解率も上がった。
The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem
それ
before.
は一体なぜなのか。
Why is that? How could it happen?
目には見えないフィールドに形態モルフが格納されているからだ。
The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye. Alright, now you're losing me a bit, Snake.
そのフィールドを介してモルフは関連する事物へと伝播していく。
And through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that information.
これが
Or related to that answer.
形態形成は仮説のざっくりとしたあらましだ。
That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields. Interesting. So essentially, the answer is interpreted, or something is done to it by the person who, comes up with that answer and acknowledges that answer. And then via acknowledging it or creating that answer, it occupies some sort of space in a field that we don't really know of. And that process is the resonant event, per se. And that is transmitting information through the morphogenetic field that everybody's connected to, I think, is what they're aiming for.
だがそれはただの仮説であって。
But that's just a theory. A game
信じる
theory.
ことはできない。
Can't bring yourself to believe it. I feel like they've established pretty well at this point in game that such a thing exists, right? I do think got a couple, shortcomings from my perspective with the morphogenetic field and how they introduced it to the story and everything, but I think they've done a good job of establishing, at least at this point, that it's an in-game physics. It's something to work with in the logic of the world. But I'm still not 100% sure how exactly it works, right? Because we're kind of at the will of the game to explain it all to us, because it's not something any of us are familiar with. Regardless, something just being a theory is not a great argument. For example, gravity is just a theory. Yeah.
今仮に悪魔のささやきを耳にして人を殺してしまった人物がいるとする。
I've talked about that before, and there were some comments in that episode that really clarified things, because I know I didn't phrase it the best way, so thanks to those that did clarify it in that one episode that I don't remember, but you guys probably have it down. Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do
その
it.
事件を解明するのに悪魔の実在や不在を証明する必要なんてないんだよ。
Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murderer.
重要なのはそいつが悪魔の存在を信じていたということだけで。
They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial.
つまり少なくとも本郷たちは形態形成場仮説を信じていたと。
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic
そういう
field.
ことだ。
That's right. Snake nodded.
だけどまだよくわからないな。
But I still don't get
実
it.
験の目的は人間を自在に操る能力について研究することにあった。
You said they wanted to figure out how to control
さっきそう
people,
言ったよな。
right? That is what you were saying. Yes.
形態形成場仮説を使うとどうしてそれが可能になるんだ。
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
簡単に言おう。
I'll keep it simple.
今100万人の人間にある問題の答えを教えたとする。
Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain
す
puzzle
ると
or a certain
何
problem.
も教えてもらっていないにもかかわらず明日君がその問題を解いてしまう確率は高くなる。
The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go
も
up.
う一つ例を挙げよ
Let's have another example, shall
う。
we?
今100万人の人間が一斉に逆立ちをしたとする。
Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now.
するとそんなことは何も知らないにもかかわらず明日君が逆立ちをする確率は高くなるんだ。
Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstanding. I don't think those are necessarily the same thing. I'm not 100% buying that those work the same way, right? For example, solving a problem, right? is the introduction of like new information into this field by someone who solves the problem. And then that information becomes more accessible to other people that are connected to the field, presumably all other people, right? But simply thinking to do something, isn't the same as, you know, that epiphany, creating that resonant event or whatever, where you're storing that information in a field. I guess, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really buying it, because up until this point they've given examples of, well, at least in humans or living things, of solving problems and getting better at it over time. The only thing they've shown of like doing an action, and that action increasing the likelihood of other things doing that action, is inanimate objects crystallizing, right? I don't know.
人間の思考活動や行動パターンもモルフのうちの一つだからね。
That's what they're making it sound like now, based on that recent analogy. Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event.
形成場に刻まれたそれらのモルフは君の中に投影されやすくなるのさ。
All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you.
あくまでも仮説を信じたらの話だけれど、ここまではいいかい？
Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far? I mean, I think I understand what you're saying, Snake. I don't necessarily see so much evidence for it. Because, quite simply, there are so many parts of the world that have grown so differently. Right? So many different, even on the scale of like towns, villages, neighborhoods, in the same country, in the same continent, let alone the same hemisphere of the world, that go off and have such different sets of actions, ways of thinking. And it's not like there's one, you know, majority or more common belief that then becomes more common the more common it becomes, right? It's not like it accelerates in popularity and doesn't do so uniformly, right? I don't think there's been any implication of a sort of like distance function to the morphogenetic field, if the morphogenetic field even really has like a coordinate, a position, a location in this universe, right? Because otherwise, if the thought to do some sort of action, for example, became more common, well, then more people would presumably do that, and it would presumably be distributed uniformly across the world, and then it would become more common the next day, etc. Right? It's kind of this snowball effect, and at what point can anything be different, right? And it would probably lead to a pretty uniform world in general. Yeah, I don't know. I think the real world as it stands is too different in too many different locations to justify or to support that something that unifies actions and thought processes so uniformly and so, you know, in such an accelerated manner exists. Regardless, obviously the game is making the case for it and will work within the game's, you know, structures, but yeah.
では、もしも仮にその100万人に匹敵する力を持った人物がいるとしたらどうなるだろう?
Now, if there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen?
そいつがたった一人で逆立ちするだけで他の人たちも自然と逆立ちしたくなってしまうような。
If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well.
そんな不思議な人物がいるとしたら。
Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do?
そんなやつ?
Come on, there's no way. I mean, for what it's worth, a phenomenon like this already exists, right? Influential figures. When you have a celebrity doing one particular thing, of course doing that thing is going to be popular. And it's because people, you know, well, with typical like popularity, people want to emulate that particular person. They want to assimilate, you know, certain attributes of their character, etc. But it's not like that person is actually exerting a force, removing, some sense of
まあ
self-control.
待ってくれ。
But regardless,
ま
I'm
だ
not
もう
done.
一人。今度は逆のパターンを考えてみよ
Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person.
う。何の力もない普通の人間がたった一人で逆立ちしただけなのに、
This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a
その微
handstand.
弱なモルフを汲み取って自然と逆立ちしてしまうような、そんな奇妙な人物がいるとしたら、
What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then?
前者は形成場に書き込む力を持ったもの、後者は読み取る力を持ったもののことだ。
A person who has the power to write to the field and someone who can read from the
ラ
same.
イターとリーダー、送信者と受信者と言ってもいいだろう。
You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver.
もしもそんな能力を持ったペアが存在するとしたら、どうなると思う？
What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these? Junpei thought about it for a moment.
送信者のモルフ、思考活動や行動パターンが形成場を介して受信者に伝わる。
So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver.
つまりは送信者が受信者を意のままに操ることができるようになると。
And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. I thought the receiver... I feel like that wasn't how they described the receiver. I almost want to go back and see again that description of the receiver, right? It made it sound like... It made it almost sound like they could pull the resonant event of, any morphogenetic field or any event. Not that those events were imposed upon that person, right? It made it seem a bit more intentional, I guess. So I don't know if I agree with this jump here, but
そう言いたいのか。
that's what you're saying, right?
ああ、そうだ。
Yes, close enough at least.
そんなバカなこと。
Come on, that's just crazy. I mean, also, the red and blue here, I'm sure is, paralleling that one description of that psychiatry, or it wasn't psychiatry, it was, I forget what the field was, but there was some other red and blue based thing where people were in different rooms trying to look at the pictures or the videos, and the other person was in the other room trying to guess,
ありえない
right?
かどうかは実際に検証してみなければわからない。
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first.
少なくとも本郷たちはそう考えたらしい。
At least that was how they thought.
だからこそ奴らは実験を行うことにしたんだ。
That was why they decided to do their
マ
experiment.
リープロジェクトはこうして開始されることになった。
That was how the Nonary project began. Snake suddenly looked very serious.
ところで淳平くん、
By the way, Junpei,
ガンツフェルト実験って知ってるかい？
that's what it was. Have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiments? Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act calm.
テレパシーを検証するときによく使われる実験のことだろう。
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy,
隔
right?
離された2つの部屋にそれぞれ被験者 Q と A を配置する。
You place a pair of subjects in separate
そして
rooms.
Q に映像を見せ、その映像が何なのかを A に当てさせる。
Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
よく知ってるね。その通りだよ。
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly
Right.
correct.
そのガンツフェルト実験がどうしたんだ？
So, why'd you bring up the Gansfeld
選
experiment?
別のために使われたのさ。
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project.
ある地
Interesting.
方都市にクレイドル製薬の傘下にある総合病院があってね。
The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
本郷たちはその病院を訪れた子供たちに対して密かにその実験を行ったんだ。
Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in
そして
secret.
素質のある子供たちが、
Some of them, he found, had
つま
potential.
り形成場に対するアクセス能力の高い子供たちが集められることになった。
He began to gather children that showed promise, children that seemed as though they might be able to access the
と言っ
field.
てももちろん自発的に集まってきたわけじゃない。
Of course, none of them volunteered.
拉致されてきたんだ。
They were kidnapped. His face barely moved as he spoke.
さらわれた子供たちの数は2人の兄弟が9組で合計18名だった。
There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children
不思議
total.
なことに兄弟のうちの片方が送信能力に長けていると、もう片方は受信能力に長けているといった感じで、
For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had one transmitter and one
9
receiver.
組の能力はきれいに2つに分かれていた。
They were split perfectly.
それにのっとって18人は9人ずつ2つのグループに分けられることになった。
As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9.
グループ9は送信能力に長けた者たちで構成されたチームだった。
The children who were put in Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. How did they determine if someone was good at transmitting versus good at receiving? I feel like you'd have to run a couple different, experiments of the Gansfeld experiments or Gansfeld experiments, right? You have to, use one person and then change the receiver a few times, or have them receive and then change the transmitter a few times to really isolate that. That's pretty time intensive, but
アメリカのネバダ砂漠に建設された模擬実験棟、通称9棟に移送されていった。
they were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert.
一方、受信能力の高い者たちで構成されたチームはグループ A と呼ばれた。
The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group
グ
A.
ループ A のメンバーは病院船ギガントの船内に幽閉されることになった。
Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic.
これまでの研究から本郷たちは次の事実に気づいていた。
From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the
形成
following.
場にアクセスする能力は2つの要素によって増強される。
There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the
一つ
fields.
はひらめき、もう一つは危機。
The first is epiphany. The other is danger.
何か困難な問題に直面した時、悩んで悩み抜いた末にパッと頭の中に解放が浮かぶ瞬間があるだろう。
Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your
言うまでも
mind?
なく、これこそがまさにひらめきだ。
It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by
このひ
epiphany.
らめきによって得られた情報は形成場に書き込まれやすく、また読み取りやすいそうだ。
The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily
さら
interpreted.
にそこに危機が加わることによって形成場へのアクセス能力が一段と高まることも分かっていた。
Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field
本郷た
access.
ちはそこに目をつけたんだ。
That's where Hongo came in.
彼らはギガントの船内に数々のギミックを仕掛けて謎を散りばめておくことにした。
They set up a number of puzzles across the
それらの
Gigantic.
謎を解かなければ先には進めない。そういう状況を作り出したんだ。
The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next
も
room.
ちろん彼らは危機を与えることも忘れなかった。
Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger.
ギガントの脇腹を爆破し、沈みゆく船の中でグループ A の子供たちにノナリーゲームを行わせたんだ。
He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the nonary game as the ship sunk.
そうして子供たちを極限状態へと追い込み、能力の発現を促した。
By forcing the children into a life or death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields.
一方その頃、グループ Q の子供たちは模擬実験棟9棟に監禁されていた。
The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q.
9棟はギガントの構造をそっくりそのまま模したもので、
Interesting. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic
室内に仕
exactly.
掛けられたギミックもギガントのそれと全く同じものだった。
Every detail was exactly the
そ
same.
して本郷たちは Q の子供たちに向かってこう言った。
Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q.
部屋に散りばめられた謎を解け。解いたらその情報を A の連中に伝えろ。
Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group
う
A.
まく伝えることができれば A の奴らは先に進むことができる。
If you
Tada.
succeed,
逆に伝えることができなければ
Ooh. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and
や
escape.
がてギガントは沈み、お前らの兄弟であるグループ A のメンバーは皆 海の藻図と化すことになるだろう。
But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink and your brothers and sisters will drown. Those were his orders.
事故を起こしたアポロ13号がどのようにして地球に帰還したのか知っているかい？
Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely?
NASA にはアポロ13号の船内の様子をそっくりそのまま再現したレプリカが存在したんだ。
It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule.
船の構造や取り付けられた装置の類はもちろんのこと、各種備品や小物に至るまで
All the equipment, instruments, everything. All of it
何
identical.
もかもがアポロ13号にあるものと同じだった。
Everything was just like the real Apollo
その
13.
レプリカを使って NASA のスタッフたちは実際にアポロ13号で起こった事故を全く同じように再現し、
NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves
何
in.
をどう使えばトラブルを解決することができるか、実際にレプリカの中に身を置いて考えたんだ。
By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing
そ
with.
して導き出された方法をアポロ13号の飛行士たちに伝えた。
Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual
それ
capsule.
が助けとなって彼らはどうにか地球への生還を果たした。
That was how they were able to return safely.
これと同じようなことがギガントとキュートでも行われたんだ。
It was the same with the Gigantic and Building Q.
送信者であるグループ Q の子供たちは室内に散りばめられた問題をひらめきによって解決し、
The children from Group Q had to use the power of Epiphany to solve the puzzles they
その
found
解放を形成場に書き込んでいった。
and transmit what they learned through the fields.
一方受信者であるグループ A の子供たちは形成場にアクセ
The
スし
children in
て
Group A, however,
それによって問題を解いて先へ先へと進んでいったんだ。
they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage.
これが9年前に行われた実験の概要だ。
That is the simplest explanation I can manage. Alright, I'll take your word for it. Like I said, I still feel like there are a couple hiccups along the way that I don't, that don't sit 100% well with me, but I'll take it for what it's worth in the game, obviously. And clearly, this is a foundational aspect to the in-game physics, the way to logic, why these characters were involved in this experiment, why people are motivated to do the things they're doing, why people might know things that we otherwise wouldn't expect them to, etc. So we should definitely work with it. Snake sounded defeated. His half-hearted attempt at derision served only to show how much the story had affected him. Just as Junpei was about to speak, something happens that we're going to find out in the next episode. I have been recording for a decent amount of time now, and I apologize because there was a lot of speculation, right? And some of you, don't exactly appreciate that. I just want to get, to the next bit of story, but for what it's worth, you guys always have a fast forward button. I won't be offended if you're not a big fan of that. But it is fun to really try and think through things, right? To try and anticipate where the story is going, see if you can put it together beforehand, and as things are introduced, see when you can have an epiphany yourself. And to, rather than be, fed something by the game or the story, to really critically think about it and put yourself in the shoes of those characters and think, would this click with me? What questions would I ask? How would I criticize this? Would I accept this, given the danger of the situation? Do I really have time to be that critical? Or is this just the highest probability thing right now, even if not perfect, even if not 100% confident, something that makes the most sense to go with for the time being? So, for those of you that are, that really enjoy the game, please don't be offended by my criticisms of some of the in-game logic when I do think of them, or when something doesn't sit 100% well with me, just because it's a bit of healthy criticism. It's not even to say that my criticism is 100% correct or justified. It's just a little bit of a difference in how I'm thinking compared to the characters in game. And obviously I'm also though at the mercy of the game developers and the characters in the game themselves, who have already established how this thing works and are slowly revealing it to me. So over time I'm sure things will start to click a bit more, and there's also the possibility that it could be something that is a bit of a black box where nobody knows. and it's all just conjecture, and it might not fit together as explained to me now, but that doesn't mean there isn't an underlying mechanism that does function correctly, right? That could be explained should it be understood, right? So, yeah, no hard feelings when I'm critical. I just like to think about things and analyze them a lot, because that's just me. So, anyways, I've been rambling for quite a bit. I'm excited for the next episode, and I hope you guys are too. But until the next episode, this is Moon Knight Zero, and this mission is complete.